here at St. Columbus, we've been in this Advent series for the last 4 weeks, and the name of the series was, I called it Living Words. And the reason why I called it, in biblical time, words didn't just have meanings, didn't just have deep meanings, but they were alive. They had life-giving meanings. I was sharing with the congregation that still today, some Jewish homes, they speak life into the kids' life by words from Scripture. And before the children go off to school, they stop the children, make sure they've got the sandwiches and everything, but they speak life by speaking words and blessings into the children. And we spoke about the fact that words have life. In week 1, we spoke about Jesus being the light of the world, who became the Word himself. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Jesus came to shed light on the Scripture, and not just the meanings of the Scripture, but actually showing us how we walk the Scripture. You know the whole saying, don't just talk the talk, but walk the walk. How to actually walk the Scripture. Jesus came to do that, and He is the light of the world, the living Word. And so because of that, we have hope. And so in the second week we spoke about hope. And what is the hope that is the hope of the world? Especially in today's life in the world. You look at America, you look around the world, you look at South Africa, there's nothing but no hope. And how do we bring hope into the world? And then one of the people in my congregation, I was away from that Sunday, Winston spoke about love and how love gets acted out, not only in Christmas, but throughout Scripture. And then week 3, we spoke about peace and how the Christmas story is about coming into the mess of our life and the chaos of our life. And as much as on the surface Christmas looks really nice and colorful and family comes around, how many of us are going to have Christmas lunch with that uncle or aunt that we wished wasn't going to be there? Oh, sorry, you guys don't have that kind of uncle and aunt today. And we spoke about, well, sometimes maybe bringing peace, in Jesus being the peace in this time in the Christmas, maybe Jesus is asking you to be that agent of peace in that dysfunctional family member or that relationship. And we actually looked closely at the fact that Jesus was born not, that there was no space in the inn, but it was actually, there was no space in the guest house. And the Greek word there was a strong word that meant guest house and not inn. We normally have the idea that Joseph and Mary were knocking on hotel rooms and people said, sorry, we don't have a room, we don't have a room. The reality of it, if you look close at the Scripture, is that they actually went into Joseph and Mary's family, who would have had a guest house, and the family said, sorry, no space. And Jesus is asking us to bring peace into those places, to show up in the places during this Christmas time, in the circumstances, and become agents of peace. And on Sunday last, we looked at joy, and how the angels spoke to the shepherds and brought great joy to the shepherds and to the world. And we lit a candle for each of this Sunday. And this is what the Advent season is all about. It allows us to focus. It allows us to evaluate. It allows us to rethink as we prepare for the coming of the King, as He was born in Bethlehem, but also, as a matter of fact, for the second coming of Jesus. Are we full of joy, peace, love, and hope? And that's what the Advent season is all about. This morning, I chose to look at John chapter 3, verse 1 to 21. And even though the Gospel of John does not share the Christmas story like the other Gospels, we're going to look at it today, and we're going to look at another story within that Gospel. and see why the context of that story is super critical for us to understand in this season of Christmas. Don't worry, it is going to come up on the screen, but if you'd like to follow the Bible, there is Bibles in the pews as well. Before we go into the scripture, the mistake that we as Western Christians make, and as much as we are in Africa, in South Africa, we are very influenced by the way the Westerners look at scriptures. What we tend to do is we pull scriptures out of their own context of biblical time and biblical understanding, and we decide what they're going to mean, and then we put back the context that we want to back into it, making the scriptures say what we want them to say. And we're really good at it if you think about it. The problem is that that's a really bad Bible study. It's a really bad way of studying the Bible. We have to know that there is this particular flow that John, who writes the Gospel of John, is moving, and that his brain, it doesn't automatically jump to other places. It's consistent, and if you read the Gospel of John, it's very consistent. John knows exactly where he wants to go with that Gospel. And it's consistent about the way he sees Jesus and the reason why Jesus came into the world. So in the passage that we're going to be reading just now, he's having this conversation with Nicodemus. Okay? And the conversation is all about identity. This is about who you are supposed to be in the world. And we're going to look now into this passage and sort of eavesdrop into this conversation and see how it is important for us to understand today on Christmas Day. So John chapter 3, verse 1 to 21. What I'm going to do is I'm reading from the ESV, okay? The one you will follow is from the NIV, but it's more or less the same. Now, there was a man of the Pharisee named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. This man came to Jesus by night and said to him, Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher who came from God, for no one can do these signs that you do unless God is with him. Jesus answered him, Truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Let's stop there for a few seconds. We often talk about being born again with regards to salvation. Am I right? We talk about being born again, we often talk about with regards to salvation. And yes, on the one level, it is born again to do with salvation. But what I want to propose this morning is that salvation is not the conversation that Jesus is having in this particular time with Nicodemus. Now, can you have this conversation from this scripture, from this passage? Absolutely yes, you can. But as I said, this is not the conversation that Jesus is having at the moment with Nicodemus. Alright, any time the Jews in the biblical time talk about being born again, they are going all the way back to the crossing of the Red Sea. Because in that story, it's their birth as a nation. Okay? You know the story of the Israelites coming out? It's their story, it's the story of birth as a nation. When they come out of Egypt into the promised land and into the Red Sea parts for them, that is their birth. Now, if you've been listening to our sermons, whether you've been following us on social media or here in the church, we've spoken about this in the past. How the bloody doorposts, you know the story of the Passover, where they were asked to put the blood on the doorpost and all of that stuff. Everything that God does in that story of the Exodus is a picture of birth. And as gross as it might sound, that's the reality. Okay? And they come out of Egypt, and they are known as God's Bachor. Say Bachor.
Bachor.
Now, you just heard your first Hebrew word. Okay? Bachor means firstborn. firstborn. So as they come out of Egypt, they are known as God's firstborn. He's firstborn over all of creation, and their job is to put God on display for the whole world to see. Isn't that what the Lord asks of us? Isn't it? To put Him on display through the things that we do and say and the way we act. God has been saying this all the way back from Abraham in Genesis 12, where He says to Abraham, I will make you a great nation so that you can be a blessing to all the nations. That's always been our call, is to put God on display, to be a blessing to others, isn't it? Just nod if you agree with me. If you don't, not that way. Okay. Let's carry on looking at the scripture. Nicodemus said to him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Now, why does he miss it? Why does he not understand what Jesus is saying to him? This is speculation, okay? This is the gospel according to me, okay? You can disagree what I'm about to say, but I'm pretty convinced that I'm right in what I'm about to say, okay? All right. I don't think that Nicodemus thought that he lost his identity as a Jewish person. So when Jesus says to him, you have to be born again, he's like, wow, what's wrong? What have I done? What went wrong? What's the problem? Why do I need to? I haven't lost my identity. I know who I am. And Jesus answers, and look back at the scriptures, He says, truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God. By the way, you can connect water, Spirit, and birth together in the scripture. Ask any teacher of the law in biblical time what story comes to their mind when they add water, Spirit, and birth. They will always go back to the Red Sea. They will always go back to Exodus. This is all about the Red Sea. This is all about the birth as a nation. When the water parted and they came out, that was the birth as a nation. Let's continue looking at the scripture in front of us. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Do not marvel that I said to you, you must be born again. Has anyone read this passage before and thought to themselves, what is he talking about? It's pretty confusing. You need to understand, and you're going to find out that in a few minutes' time, that Nicodemus is going to be called the teacher in Israel. He's not a teacher, he is the teacher of Israel. And that makes a lot of sense, because that means he's pretty much a smart cookie. He's not just a teacher, he's their teacher. And in order to be that teacher, you have to be pretty smart. So we would imagine that whether the conversation Jesus is having with him, it's going to go deeper than what we've seen so far. Now let's look how deep it goes. Carries on and says, the wind blows here where it wishes, and you hear its sound, but you do not know where it comes from or where it goes. So it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit. Nicodemus said to him, how can these things be? Jesus answered him, are you not the teacher of Israel, and yet you do not understand these things?
And we can bring the pictures on.
Think about it. Jesus' reply to Nicodemus is, duh. Really? You're asking me that question? You're supposed to be know-it-all. You're supposed to be that teacher, and you're asking me how all these things can happen? Well, let me tell you what Jesus is really saying to him. He's saying to Nicodemus, you were born of the Spirit. You would know that whenever the Spirit of God is up to something, you should be a part of that something. Nicodemus has already said. He said to Jesus, we know that you are a teacher from God, for no one can do these signs that you unless God is with you. The problem with Nicodemus is you don't know how to do what you're saying. That's what Nicodemus is saying. I hear what you're saying. I know God is with you. But Jesus, our problem is we don't know how to do what you're saying that we are to do. And Jesus said, if you are born of the Spirit, you will be joining the Spirit where He is working. Now, Nicodemus says, I don't think I can do that, Jesus. I don't think I can go where the Spirit is already moving. The question is, why? Isn't that the question that's in your mind? Why? Yes? No? Well, I'm glad you asked me why, because outside of your mind. You see, what Jesus is doing is absolutely countering the tradition of the day. Because Jesus touches the unclean. He's getting into messy places. He's not disconnecting himself from the Gentile, but he's rather engaging with the Gentiles. He's loving them. Jesus is having supper and dinner with the tax collectors. I mean, if you were a Jew in those days, that will mean a real oy vey. You don't know what oy vey means, no? No? You don't know what oy vey means? Oh, they need to be educated, eh? Oy vey is an expression, a Jewish expression, that when something is just not going right, when something is like really not kosher, you know what kosher is, okay? Then the way you would go is oy vey, okay? Sort of, that's the expression. So, I mean, to have dinner with the tax collectors, to be around with the prostitute, to talk to the prostitute, was all of that, that's a big no-no. And the leadership of the day, and Nicodemus is a part of that, they decide that that's not what they should do. And Jesus is saying, it is very possible that you can do that, and if you are born of the Spirit, you would have known that it was possible to do that. You see, the way they thought about the law, what they came to be called as the Torah, was very much like if a builder looks at blueprint, so God looks at the law that way. And in a way, they believe that even God was bound to the law of that day. And one of the things about the law is you don't do the things that Jesus is doing. So that was a problem. They were lost. And they didn't have an identity in the world. And in a way, Jesus is asking us to do similar thing, isn't it? In a way, Jesus is asking us to be where the mess is. Jesus is asking us to be those agents of peace. We are supposed to be the Bahor. We are supposed to be the firstborn of all creation. You are supposed to be a light unto the nation and put God on display in a way that makes everyone better. But do we do that? Do we do that? Let's go back to the scripture. Truly, truly, I say to you, we speak of what we know and bear witnesses to what we have seen, but you do not receive our testimony. If I have told you earthly things and you do not believe, how can you believe if I tell you heavenly things? No one has ascended into heaven except he who descended from heaven, the Son of Man. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of God, the Son of Man, be lifted up, that whoever believes in him may have eternal life. Let me explain this very quickly. Why is he talking about Moses and the serpent? Okay? You know the story of Moses and the serpent, okay? If you don't, let me quickly give you an overview. Okay, the bronze snake was lifted up on the pole because what happened is that it was better to be back in Egypt, and that God sent snakes on them. Okay? Which gives you a little bit of an insight about how God feels about complaining. I'm just saying. So God says to Moses, make a bronze snake and lift it up on a pole, a banner to the Lord. Now, here's the thing. These guys, as Israelites, have just come out of Egypt. So they would have understood what the banner was all about. A banner was never about the banner itself, but a banner would sit in front of the temple, on the walls of the temple, and there was a little bit of a space between the end of the wall and the ceiling. And what happened is that the wind will come and it will blow the banner into the temple. Okay? So when everyone looked at the banner, they were not actually looking at the banner, but they were looking at that, something beyond the banner, the temple, okay? Which they called them to go and worship. And it was designed in that way. But what the banner was pointing to was beyond that. So God put a snake on a pole as a banner, so they will have to bow down, the Israelites will have to bow down and look at that banner. But it wasn't about the banner. As they're bowing down and focusing on the banner, what are they really looking at? At God. They're looking at beyond the banner. And isn't that what Jesus says to us? Just like Moses lifted up on the stake in the wilderness as a banner to point to beyond, so must the Son of Man be lifted up, so that when we look at the banner, when we look at the cross, what are we looking at? Beyond the cross, don't we? We look at beyond the cross, to point to what's beyond. And we must never lose sight of that. And now we come into a very well-known scripture. For God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, that whoever believes in Him will not perish, but have eternal life. And the problem we have with understanding the scripture is that we focus on the perish part of the scripture. We are focused on the perish and eternal life part of this, and we completely miss that for God so who? The world. That's our identity. That's our identity. For God so loved the world. So does that mean the world is for God so loved the people who come to church, not those outside church? No. For God so loved the world. That's our identity. And that's what Jesus is calling us back to. You were supposed to be a people to put God on display that will bless and benefit all people. That's who you are reminded to be this morning. For God did not send His Son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved through Him. Through Him. Which kind of changes our conversation, isn't it? Because if our conversation with the world is from the point of view of condemnation, we've missed it out. We missed it. Because He did not come to condemn the world. And carries on, whoever believes in Him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only Son of God. And this is a judgment. The light has come into the world, and here we make that full circle of the light coming as the Word of God. And people love the darkness rather than the light, because the work were evil for everyone who does wicked things, hates the light, and does not come to the light, lest his work should be exposed. But whoever does what is true comes to the light, so that it may be clearly seen that his works have been carried out in God. So what does this have to do with Christmas? Eh? Jesus came into the Christmas story. Jesus came into our story, into my story, into your story, into your story. And Jesus reveals himself to us so that we can reveal him to others. Jesus became the light of the world. This is John's Gospel. This is John's Advent story, shedding light on the Word of God. The Christmas story this season is a reminder that Jesus came into the world so that we can reveal himself and put him on display for the world to see. And I would like to suggest that when we put our religion on display, we are not putting our truth on display. We're supposed to put Jesus on display. Are you with me? And that matters drastically on how we have a conversation with the person, not condemning the person. We have a thing in our church, it's part of our logo. Everyone is welcome. No one is perfect. Expect the unexpected. And that's the truth. As soon as we don't say everyone is welcome, we're not putting him on display, is it? The purpose, the goal of Christmas, Advent season is the arrival of Christ is to bring life into dead places. Maybe it's time for us to maybe assess and take account of our Christmas and where are those dead places in our Christmas. Because that's where we will find Jesus in Christmas. Just like the kid said, he was not born in a castle, he was born in a stable. And I often say he was born with all the animal pork that was there. You translate pork any way you want to. Because that's where we'll find Jesus. And God invites us as a community, as his church, to be a light in dark places. And this candles represents that. This candles remind us. And maybe this Christmas you have to go to those places and be a light in those dark places. Maybe this Christmas you have to go into that situation that you have been avoiding for a long time and be the peace agent in there. Maybe you need this Christmas to go to the relationship that was in the darkness before you came, and you need to shed light into that relationship. And thank the Lord for being the light that shines in your life. May you have a blessed, Merry Christmas. Amen? Amen. We're going to stand and we're going to sing our last song together, which is Joy to the World.